I threw up again. And I don't mean today, I mean like 2 minutes ago. I was literally about to record this video when I'm like, huh, I'm getting this feeling that I know all too well by now. Let me just go to the bathroom just in case. And, well, yeah, you know what happens next. I don't need to go into details. And that's the downside of this whole situation. Because I need to take hydrogen tablets in water because apparently hydrogen is really good. And well, molecular hydrogen. I don't know if it's that different from normal hydrogen. I'm really not an expert. The way I was explained it, or it was explained to me, was it's the most powerful antioxidant in the world, and given your situation, you need that as much as you can. And since the machine that, you know, hydrogenizes the water costs like three, four, maybe 5,000, depending on the model, I'm like, well, I'm gonna get the tablets for now. So the upside is it's cheaper while still expensive. It's like a bottle about this big with 90 tablets, and I have to take three per day, so basically a month's worth. And it costs, I think, around 90 bucks. So definitely not cheap, but still cheaper than for like, you know, three, four, 5,000 bucks. Anyway, all that to say, the upside is apparently it's really good for me. The downside is, well, sometimes it makes me throw up because it's like bubbles basically in water that you chug like half a liter at a time, and it's just really intense. And depending on when I take it, sometimes it has this effect of just reacting with whatever's in my stomach. In this case, it was food and pills from lunch, and apparently my body was like, nope, 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 nope. So yeah, that kind of sucked. Although now I do feel better. There's at least that, because before, today was a really long day. I won't get into details. I'll get into details on that probably in tomorrow's video, simply because it's part of a story that has not been concluded yet, and I want to wait until it's done to be able to share it. So, this video is apparently about throwing up, which was not initially the plan, but since I threw up right before this, I'm like, why not start the video there? What the video was initially going to be about was yesterday. So yesterday was my, I think, sixth treatment so far. And normally when I have a treatment, I go and first meeting in the day is blood test. An hour later, I have a meeting with my oncologist, and then usually 2 to 3 hours after that, I have the treatment. So usually it's around like 8 or 9 the blood test, and then 9 or 10 with the doctor's appointment, and then maybe usually like between 12 and 2 o'clock, depending, is the treatment. Yesterday, though, I had a couple more things. So instead of having 3 appointments, I had 5 appointments yesterday. So first thing at 8:30, I had a meeting with a psychologist because as part of the cancer program support program, I forget exactly what it's called, but anyway, that's offered by the hospital. They offer psychological counseling. So I'm like, you know, it's free. Everyone can benefit from speaking to a psychologist. Why not? So I was on a list for a while, and finally they called me, and the first meeting had to be in person. He's like, if we do future meetings, we can do it by like Zoom, but for the first one, you need to be here. So, you know, went to speak to the guy. Everything was great, pretty straightforward. Conclusion we came to is, you know, I'm dealing with this pretty well. I don't really need to speak to a psychologist. If I feel the need to in the future, I can reach out to him, but it's not really necessary for me to do it. So first meeting was that. Then second was a normal blood test, and then an hour after that, meeting with the doctor. And then a couple hours after that, yes, there's a dog sniffing me. A couple hours after that was the treatment. Everything went same as usual. And then in the afternoon at 3, I had a PET scan because I had the first one about 3.5 months ago. And you need to wait at least 3 months in between because they basically inject radioactive substances in your body, and that's not good for you. So you need to wait a certain amount of time so it doesn't destroy your body. So it's just ironic of like, yeah, you know, that's the way that we're gonna figure out how sick you are by injecting something into you that we can't do too often because otherwise that could potentially kill you. So the way that works is they inject me with, I'm not quite sure exactly what it is, but something radioactive. Get me to drink something, wait an hour, and then once everything's, spread out through my system, then they scan me. The issue is yesterday, they were supposed to have a certain amount of product to inject, and there was 25 people that were supposed to get PET scans. Unfortunately, they got delivered way less than they were supposed to, so most people, I think around like 15, 20 people, were not able to get it. So they had to select the people who, in their opinion, deserved it more. And apparently, I'm sick enough that I deserved it more because I was among the few that actually got to get a PET scan yesterday. So that's the good news. Bad news is because they had less, they kind of stretched it out and gave it less to everyone, which doesn't make it any less effective. It just means the scanning process takes longer. So that means I had to lie down in the machine where you like strap down your head strap so you don't move, and you have to put your arms, both arms like this over your head and not move at all for 20 minutes. Which may not seem like a long time, but when you're lying there with your eyes closed, not moving an inch for 20 minutes, that's a very long time. And the thing is, I'm like, I can't fall asleep because if I fall asleep, I know I'm going to move. I can't move, so I need to stay awake. So it's like this constant struggle of like struggling to stay awake, struggling not to move, and it just feels like an eternity because you're like, I have no clue if it's been 1 minute, 19 minutes, I don't know. But anyway, finally survived it, and I was lucky that I got to get it. So it's either good or bad. I guess that's one of the good things of having stage 4 cancer. It's like, well, it's severe enough that you get prioritized when there's people that need to get bumped. So at least there's that. There's also other stuff going on with work, but I'll get into that in the next video simply because, as I mentioned, the story's not quite over yet. There's been like so many back and forths at this point that I don't really know what's going to happen. Hopefully everything's going to work out. I really don't know. But yeah, the last couple of days have been pretty exhausting. But at least I survived. For now. So yeah, that's been the update. Hopefully tomorrow the story, well, it has to be concluded because that's the end of the period where the story can happen. So anyway, with that said, I'm going to end the video here and I'll talk to you tomorrow.